Why Star Trek's galaxy has a Romulan neutral zone. The galaxy of Star Trek is teeming with political alliances, technological wonders, and philosophical questions. Among its most enduring geopolitical boundaries is the Romulan neutral zone, a vast, invisible line drawn across the stars that has sparked countless episodes, conflicts, and uneasy truces. But why does this line even exist? What made the Romulan neutral zone such a cornerstone of Star Trek lore? To understand that, we need to look back to one of Star Trek's oldest stories, its most ancient rivalries, and its foundational message about the cost of peace in a fractured galaxy. The origins of the line. The Romulan neutral zone was first introduced in Star Trek, the original series episode, Balance of Terror, and it quickly became a symbol of Cold War-style tension in space. According to in-universe history, the neutral zone was established after a brutal and unnamed war between Earth and the Romulan Star Empire, a war fought without either side ever seeing the other face to face. Following a bloody stalemate, both sides signed the Treaty of Alderaan. This agreement prohibited the United Federation of Planets and the Romulan Empire from crossing into the zone under any circumstances, effectively drawing a galactic no man's land. For decades, this invisible line in the stars functioned much like the Berlin Wall, both a symbol and a mechanism of containment. A symbol of fear and fascination, the neutral zone didn't just prevent war, it fostered mystery. The Romulans retreated behind the boundary, closing themselves off for nearly a century. The Federation didn't see or hear from them again until the 24th century. This long silence turned the Romulans into a kind of boogeyman in the minds of Starfleet, shrouded in shadows, driven by paranoia, and capable of anything. This makes the neutral zone more than a treaty. It's a psychological line. It represents mistrust, ideological differences, and the fear of what lies beyond. It became the perfect plot device to fuel Star Trek's exploration of diplomacy, xenophobia, and brinkmanship. Cold War in the cosmos. Star Trek has always drawn inspiration from real-world politics, and the Romulan neutral zone is no exception. During the Cold War, tensions between the U.S. and the Soviet Union were governed by treaties, red lines, and military posturing. Much like NATO and the Warsaw Pact kept a tense distance, the Federation and the Romulans played a dangerous game of chicken, each trying to avoid triggering interstellar Armageddon. Episodes like The Next Generations, The Defector, and Deep Space Nine's Inter Arma Enim Silent Ledges show just how precarious that balance can be. Spies, traitors, and brinkmanship dance across the neutral zone, reminding viewers that peace can sometimes only be maintained through fear of mutual destruction. The zone as a moral mirror. Interestingly, the neutral zone doesn't just reflect geopolitical tension, it also reflects the ideals of the Federation. By refusing to cross the line, even when provoked, Starfleet shows restraint and commitment to diplomacy. It's a test of Starfleet's principles. Will they respond to aggression with violence, or will they take the harder path of peacekeeping? Captain Picard, in particular, became the face of this moral stance. In TNG, he often cited the neutral zone as a line not just of legality, but of conscience. When Federation officers or allies violated the zone, it was treated with gravity, even if their cause seemed just. That moral rigidity made the line sacred, but also frustrating. Was the Federation being noble or naive? When the line is crossed, of course, Star Trek being what it is, the zone was crossed frequently. Sometimes by cloaked Romulan warbirds, sometimes by desperate Starfleet officers, and sometimes by forces beyond other governments' control, like the Borg or rogue factions. Every time the line was breached, the galaxy held its breath. These moments weren't just exciting, they mattered. They forced characters and viewers alike to ask questions. Is peace always worth maintaining? What happens when one side doesn't play by the rules? And if a treaty is only enforced by fear, is it really peace at all? Perhaps the most famous violation came in the TNG finale, All Good Things, where future version of Starfleet had openly declared war, showing the neutral zone completely dissolved. It was a vision of what could happen if fear overcomes principle, and it stood as a warning of what was at stake. Evolution in later Trek. Over time, the neutral zone evolved along with the franchise. In Star Trek, Picard, we see a Romulan empire that has fractured after the destruction of their homeworld. The once feared border no longer holds the same power, and new factions rise from the ashes. The collapse of the neutral zone in this era feels symbolic. It marks the end of a binary longer can Starfleet rely on